Top of the morning folks, today from the Reddit Rainforest. What's the most ungrateful thing you see someone do? This is one of my favorite stories of instant justice. My mother's friend threw his daughter a birthday party. This was fairly affluent family, so she got a big party with all of her friends. And this girl got a lot of nice stuff. She got dolls, a dollhouse, various toys, and a freaking horse. With all of the riding gear and the promise of lessons and everything she could ever need for the horse. This brat got what millions of little girls all over the country dream of. And you know what she did? She flipped the point malarkey point out because it was the wrong dollhouse. She got a horse and she threw a huge screaming temper tantrum over the enormous dollhouse. Now I shall digress a bit and tell you about her father. Her dad came from Africa to the US as a refugee. Most of his friends and family were killed. This guy competed in the Olympics and worked his ass off to become a doctor of some kind. As one might expect, this guy did not take kindly to his daughter's obvious lack of appreciation for her privileged lifestyle, so he cut that malarkey right out. He cancelled the party right then. The guests still got to eat cake and keep their party favors on top of an apology for his daughter's behavior. Packed up all the toys and took them back to the store. He took the horse back and grounded the malarkey out of his spoiled kid. To sum it up, guy buys daughter a horse and other stuff. Daughter flips out over a dollhouse, so guy takes everything back. I have quite a few I could tell about my little sister. I'll stick to two. My mom bought her numerous laptops, iPhones, and cameras on the condition that she take care of them. Everyone was broken in a month or two. Bought her a $900 digital SLR she knows I have been coveting for years. Because my sister claimed she was going to take a photography course at school. Got the camera. Ditched that she did not get any other presents. Used it for a day then let it sit around for 6 months. She uses it now for pictures on her Tumblr. But she told my mom she never intended to take a photography course and she can only use the damn thing on auto. For Easter I spent a couple $100 buying her tons of Hunger Games stuff and random stuff for an Easter basket because I stupidly wanted to do something nice. I'd just pick up random stuff over the course of a few months that I thought she'd like. She was upset that my mom will not be doing baskets anymore because she's 15. She threw a tantrum after she opened everything because Easter sucked because we will not hide Easter eggs for her or hide plastic ones filled with money like her friend's parents did. She's 15 for duck's sake. I haven't not gotten her a damn thing since. I bought my mom a MacBook Air to pay her back 4 years of caring for me, and my sister threw the biggest tantrum ever. She clawed at my mom's face and tried to steal her car because it was not fair that my mom got something nice for the first time ever. Literally, ever. My sister has since accidentally broken her laptop hoping it'd buy her one too. Not going to ever ducking happen. My sister was a piece of malarkey when I got her a HP netbook for Christmas. She had asked for a pink netbook, preferably HP, so I got it. The day she opened it, she was upset because it was not solid pink. Even though I knew she liked plaid style, she tossed it aside, saying she would not use it unless I return it and get it in solid pink. Almost slapped the Hispanic out of her. I helped my workmate move house. Hungover after far too much tequila. I moved all his malarkey, his boyfriends and his roommates basically by myself as he was useless. Took almost 12 hours. The wanker did not even buy me a beer, food or anything all day. Then fobbed me off when I asked for help to move. Then had the nerve to ask for help when he moved out. My older sister Amanda is extremely spoiled. My dad practically worships the ground she spits on. Well, she's 9 years older than me, so of course she was able to do more things. I used to help my mom at a restaurant every day from when I was 8 years old. Because I was so young, people would give me tips throughout the day. When my mom's shift ended, she would walk me next door to the bank and I would deposit my earnings. By the time I was 8 I had a little over $800 saved up. May came around and my sister was going to turn 17. For her birthday she wanted a crap tons of hairstyling stuff and makeup. Well, my father had other plans. He convinced me into letting him borrow my $800 plus and combined it with his $500. He then went out and bought a cheap car for $1,000 and used the other $300 for seat covers, new tires, a new stereo, etc. May 5th. We gave my sister the car and she threw the biggest ditch fit ever. She wanted nothing to do with the car, so she sold it for $700. Dad got his $500 back. Amanda got $200 to spend on hair malarkey and I got nothing back. Just a ditch out from an ungrateful jerk. I work at a pet store. A few months ago, we had a scarlet macaw up for sale. I was weighing her in the front of the store, since we have to track their growth when we get them at the store. Little kid and her grandfather come in the store. While him doing this, the little girl, who looks about 10 years old enough to know better, runs towards the bird. This is already not good. It took me a good 10 minutes to coax the poor bird out of her cage to get weighed. She's a very timid bird, and she's slow to trust people, so the little girl is running at me with a very large bird on my arm. Spooks the bird, who jumps off of my arm and luckily lands on the register counter, which is where the scale is anyway. As politely as I could, I asked the girl to please take a few steps back because the bird is very afraid right now, that she is very shy around new people, and that the girl can watch, but just keep her distance. She was okay with that for about 10 seconds. After I weighed the bird, I got her to step back up onto my arm and told the little girl I had to take her back to her cage now and give her some treats for being a good bird while she got weighed. This did not go over well. The little girl followed me back to the cage and kept asking if she could pet the bird. In case you do not know much about birds, this is a scarlet macaw. They have very large and very strong beaks. If they feel threatened enough, they will defend themselves with that beak, and I have no doubt that they could easily take a finger off if they wanted to. So she asks if she can pet it. I told her no. I'm sorry, but she does not like strangers touching her, and she might try to bite you. I do not want you to get hurt. Wrong thing to say apparently. I wanna pet the bird. Let me pet it. Let me pet the bird. She started throwing a temper tantrum, and I just ignored her at this point, since the macaw was starting to bite me now on the arm. I still have bruises from this, and I just wanted to get her in the cage and get the girl as far away as possible. And this whole time, her grandfather was just standing there watching. He did not say anything, just let her carry on. So I get the bird back in the cage, and she's now on the other side of the cage, sticking her fingers in the cage. Again, I ask her to back up. The bird can lunge and bite her very easily, so she backs up. Thank God. I was thinking to myself, maybe she'll go look at the hamsters or something else now. Nope. She goes up to her grandfather and literally screams at him, "Buy me that bird. I want that bird. Buy it for me." He just looked at me and asked how much it was. My jaw nearly dropped to the floor. First off, I tell him that bird is $2,000 plus the cost of the cage, plus food, substrate, etc. Second off, they can live quite a long time. On average in captivity they can get up to 50 years old, and sometimes longer. This is not something you buy because a 10-year-old girl is demanding you buy it for her. I actually had to stand there and talk him out of buying this bird for about 10 minutes. At least I could figure out where this girl got her attitude from. He was about to buy a screaming 10-year-old a $2,000 bag without a second thought. Good lord. I lost some of my faith in humanity that day. Luckily, they walked out of the store after that, and she did not leave quietly. She was kicking and screaming the whole way out of the store. I have not seen them since. Thank God. To sum it up, little girl throws temper tantrum over exotic bird. I work for a NFP, and we will have cookouts for people in poverty. They complain so hard that we buy generic soda or do not have good cheese for their burgers. One time we gave away thousands of pairs of shoes in the city. The what is this malarkey? Outnumbered the thank yous about 20 to 1. This from people who came without shoes. A coworker whined that her grandmother gave her a silver necklace for her birthday when she knows I only ever wear white gold. I laughed and told her that when my grandparents were alive I only ever got a birthday card, and that stopped when I started high school. But the coworker only got more defensive, trying to get me to sympathize with her situation. This coworker is actually a lovely person, but has lived a very sheltered life. My mom always spends the same amount on me and my siblings for our birthdays. Last year, I was the only person to ask for something specific, so my mom got that for me plus $25. My brother's birthday is 2 weeks later, and she gave him $50, equivalent to what she spent on me. He actually complained that she did not give him more, this being after he has not gotten our parents anything in years for birthdays or holidays. So this year, he did not get anything from her and wondered why. My younger sister got diamond earrings for her 16th birthday from my parents. She then says in a ditchy tone, "This is not what I asked for." Parents then take back earrings, scolds her, and she gets nothing for her birthday. She then spends the rest of her birthday demanding that they give it back to her. This post is being taken over to say, if you are enjoying the video, make the like button green and subscribe if you have not yet. My wife was rampaging on a Sunday morning. For no real reason. She starting screaming that she was tired and hungry etc. And I offered her something to eat to soothe her. She said she wanted fried eggs. I asked her how many and she said 3. So I cooked 3 fried eggs. And if you have ever fried eggs together, you know that they meld into one giant egg white with 3 yolks. I come back with the eggs and she loses her mind and I laugh and ask what her problem was. She screams I don't like my eggs to touch. I said $$ it and ate the eggs in front of her. Later that day, when her friend came over to do some crap, I came out of the kitchen holding 2 raw eggs and stood in the doorway of the living room. Her friend and her looked at me as I slowly moved the eggs toward one another. As soon as they touched I started yelling/bellowing. It was very funny to me and the friend was completely confused. The sister of my coworker was at the office. I ended up chatting with her around 7 PM while she waited for her bro to finish up work. I hung around only because she was kinda pretty and single. After mentioning her father paid 100% of her $100,000 tuition, a car, and all her living expenses, she starts saying into her dad for promising only $500,000 as her future graduation gift. She was expecting something more along the lines of $750K to $1 million, so she was super pissed and kept talking about what a jackass he was being. Apparently, she changed her major one too many times for her father's taste and was living the lifestyle of a forever student. This was when I was struggling to pay off my college loans, not earning very much, and barely staying afloat with paying my rent and covering my beer money. Around 2:30 am on a Friday night. Saturday morning, a friend and I witnessed a pickup truck run a red light and barrel through a white taxi van doing about 50 miles per hour, +/5 miles per hour. No brakes. Just crash. The white van instantly was spun around a couple of times until it hit against a light pole. My friend and I were in complete shock, but were the only ones around, so we got out of my truck to go help. On the way to the van my friend called 911, and a fire started flaring up from inside the crumpled hood. The man inside was bleeding everywhere and obviously very hurt. However, the driver's door was smashed so much I could not open the door and the passenger door was blocked and resting against the light pole. By this time the fire under the hood is starting to engulf the front part of the van and getting very hot. I took my shirt off, wrapped it around my hand and broke out what was left of the glass on the driver's side door and proceeded to pull the man headfirst out of the van with the help of my friend and drag him about 30 feet away to a grassy area by an office building. About 2 minutes later the entire front portion of the van is in flames. Another minute later the fire department showed and put it out. I gave my information and such to the police officers. The man I pulled from the van thanked me over and over again. I thought I had done my good deed for the day. 1 week later I'm served papers stating I caused physical and emotional damage/distress to the man, and he was suing me for $100,000. 1 awesome public defender, 3 witnesses, and 4 days in court later he lost. I saw this woman on the side of the road who had a flat tire and was clearly having issues changing it. So polite old me decided to hold my run and go see if I could help out. I stroll over and offer my services to her and she accepts, but she backs away to a pretty far distance. I proceed to change her tire and help get her on her way, and as soon as I finish and proceed to extend my arm for a handshake, she says back away. I have 911 on my phone right now and all I have to do is press call. I do not know if she thought I was going to attack her or something, but you do not just do that to someone who just helped you change your damn tire. Flabbergasted. I run away and I haven't not seen that ditch since. Welcome to the end of the video. Do not worry, there are many more. Come aboard for more adventures. Like and subscribe for more posts from the Reddit Rainforest. Thanks for watching.